Hey, this might be a thumbnail, low key. Just do this. Yeah, it's a thumbnail.
Do that? That's ugly.
Thumbnail. Little thumbnail. Nah, you throwing up the wrong.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Dex. Welcome again to the T2E podcast. My face might look a little bit different today. We shaved all the facial hair off, so I look like a Nick and Mole rat right now. But anyway, I have a great guest with me today. One of a guy that I've known for a while now. He is a Valorant player. Then he went into coaching, and hopefully he'll give us some insights on how his experience was today. So I'd like to welcome my great friend Steven Lin. Give it up to him.
Man, the whole Govy is crazy.
This whole Govy, Steven Lin.
The whole Govy is crazy. Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Steven, obviously. Guess a little bit about myself. Auburn graduate, I guess. That helps. I played with the Auburn roster for like a couple of semesters, and then yeah, sort of took my time off of playing, like, I guess, in that collegiate aspect, and then just to focus on school. And then towards the end, I wanted to see if I can do okay at like coaching, and I went into a little bit of coaching this past semester for the Orange, like, I guess, quote unquote B teams for Dex and them. So yeah. So right now I'm just kind of chilling right now. I don't know. That's all I can really say.
Okay, well, I'm welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time out to be here. I know it's like kind of last minute, so thank you again. You're welcome. So I want to get into it. I know you started as a player and everything. So what got you into Valorant?
To Valorant. Well, I guess by then it was like I was always more of like a shooter type like gamer, like growing up. Well, no, actually, no. I was like I was just more in tune with like shooters in general, like playing like PUBG, Fortnite, stuff like that. And then my current game at the time, around when Valorant came out, was CS, and obviously CS players tend to kind of translate well into Valorant gaming. So that's how I got my foot into Valorant, and then kind of played ranked here and there for like the first few episodes, like kind of just feeling it, see what, like, never really had like the thought of like going pro, even though that was like that was always like a dream that you always kind of have in the back of your head, right?
Yeah.
Like just the aspect of competing, like you always want to dip your toe in it. So funny enough, like, this is how more or less me and Dex kind of got introduced to each other. Like in a ranked game, I came across him and I saw his name. He wasn't AU Dex then; it was like AU Kirito or whatever.
Yeah.
SAO. Mid enemy. So that's how I came across him. I was like, AU. And then, by then, I was only playing on like Georgia servers too, so I wasn't even like on Texas or anything. Like, everyone was just on Georgia servers, so like, because we didn't have that many like EU players like playing in our lobbies then.
Yeah.
So when I like in the game, I was like, hey, Astra. He was playing Astra. I vividly remember this. He was playing Astra.
It was on Fracture, wasn't it? Was it on Fracture? Yeah.
And I asked him. I was like, hey, Astra. Is that AU? Is that like related to any like Auburn University or whatever? And he's like, yeah, I play for the Auburn team. I'm like, oh crap. I was like, we have an Auburn team? And by then I was like, I just hit Immortal, so I'm thinking I'm hot shit. Actually, no, I wasn't Immortal. I was Diamond. That was before like Ascendant came out. But I was like, I think I could probably like kind of dip my toe in it. And so like I started like asking him. I was like, so like are you like what student? Like, are you just a student, or like what's all the thing? He was like, by then he was like doing football with Auburn and stuff, and then and I was like, oh, that's cool. I was like, how the heck do you like keep the schedule or whatever? But I was like, get me in contact with like someone with like that deals with like Auburn Valorant, and then that's when we came across our mutual friend Dalton.
Yep.
Sort of like he more or less like created like the Valorant program here at Auburn.
He did.
I got a tryout, join in, like, okay, like initially
the trial was crazy.
Initially, I wasn't supposed to be like the quote unquote duelist player. I was technically filling in for Dex because then his schedule was a little crazy,
It was.
like with football and like other stuff. And then I was like, I was getting ready to be like slotted in as like like the smokes player whenever Dex can't make it, like a 6-man type situation. So that's yeah, that's when I got into that. And then they're like, oh, they liked me or whatever. Like they think he can be a pretty good like team player or whatnot. And then yeah, we had a decent season, I would say, like for the two or three semesters I played.
We should have made CVAL playoffs, but I digress.
But if you know, you know. There's if you know. I'm not gonna.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much how we met though. It was pretty interesting though, cause like I know you got slotted in my spot because I think I had just something to do with football that day, and then oh wait, how did you get slotted into the duelist spot? Because I know they asked me how I thought, like, my thoughts on you. I was like, I like him. Cause I always said Steve is a dude that has like good morale. He can gel it. He can keep a team like together, and if you're able to do that, who says you have to? It's really good to have someone like that. Cause I think that's something that I myself I lack. So I always say Steve is the one that can gel everyone together. It's like
I don't even know what to say to that, but yeah, but it was just because of your schedule that I was just gonna initially just be like the smokes like sub, just because like you couldn't really make it, and then I was like, by then I was already more of a field player and like ranked anyway, but then I was really comfortable on playing like Jet and stuff because I was just like that's the only thing I played with like my friends like when we 5-sack or whatever, and then by then I was starting to dive into like initiator, like playing like recon, Sova, whatever. And I guess having that like be like that ability to flex between multiple agents, I guess that's when like it made them more like they're like, hey, I kind of like that about him. I kind of want to pick him up just because of that.
Because you play Jet, Chamber, Smokes, Sky. You played Dane. You played Dane and everything pretty much, if I'm not mistaken. You play. I think Did you play Sova any for us or?
I played Sova for.
Okay, yeah.
For like I think one of the semesters, but yeah.
So this man played everything pretty much.
I was always more of like I like the aspect of like playing duelist, like entering, trying to create space or whatnot for the team. And that was when like I was like really comfortable on Jet, and I was decent at opping, so that was like one of the reasons why like everyone really like gravitated like towards me to like, play more of that duelist role rather than just me being just slotted in for like Dex when he's not here.
Yeah, because we didn't really have an opper really then, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't think Poison opt for real. Joey didn't opt for real. No one really opt, so it made sense to pretty much bring you in to have that, because at that time, I think people were opting on attack at a certain point, and then it's kind of died down now, but it's
the OPAC Wardell Wardell era. That was
War Daddy. Shout out to War Daddy.
Actually, no shout out, bro, because he has that whole thing. He has that whole thing that happened within a couple months. We're just not gonna talk about it.
Yeah. So
well, on the topic of opping, it's like you opt though. On Astra, on smoke characters it was like he was on Killjoy, he was on Astra, he would just opt like people and like just pull back smoke just to repo. I'm like,
it makes sense. It makes sense.
That's dangerous.
It makes sense. Well, okay, because when if you remember when we was at the LAN in Birmingham, we played against Bama, I was opting on the Astra. And it catches people off guard. Like most people don't even see that. And now I'm seeing Sentinels with Tens playing Omen. Him and Zekin would switch rifles for him to op. It's like it catches you off guard. So it's just like, wait, the Omen is opping? Why is the Omen opping? And it just makes sense. So but like I think people have this misconception that only your duelist or your Jet player has to op. It's just it's convenient for them too. I mean, obviously.
Anyone with like a get out of jail free card, that's usually
but like,
oh, he can shoot, put him on the out.
But who says that it has to be a duelist on it? is anybody can purchase the gun, so why not abuse it? You know,
See, I
because
agree, but then I see you play. I'm like, dude, this guy's so annoying, dude. I hate when he's in.
the elo
If it
stick,
works, it
man.
works.
The elo
If it
stick,
works, it works.
it takes you. That's what it's there for. I mean, you see like people like Boostio. He opted on KJ. Hell, we even seen Cryo when they had him on Omen. He opted on Omen. You know, I mean, it was weird because you had to unscope, place the smokes down. It's harder to, but if you can get value out of it, why not? Why not have that person opt? If you can opt, you can opt. I mean, because hell, you saw we put Lee in on opting on KJ. You know, so I mean, no one is. Yeah, no one's not. If you capable of opting, it shouldn't matter what role you want. You should be able to. If you can opt, you can opt. So, but yeah. So anyway, I want to get into your coaching stuff now. So how was like the transition from being like a player to like a coach?
I would say by then it was kind of like kind of natural.
Mm-hmm.
I feel because it was like by then, like by the time like I actually like quote unquote stepped into the coaching role for like the B team, I was already more like I was always like on the sidelines, like kind of like giving advice or like not like full on mentoring, but like I was just kind of like guide players to like play a certain way, just so like 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 the proper way to play, sort of like like how to be there for your team, like when to call for like comms or like util or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
like just being like on top of like communication. That's that's like the main thing I try to like preach,
Mm-hmm.
because it was like I remember when I was playing like quote unquote, like I wasn't great at like communicating when like things like got heated, like like when you're chilling cat with an op and you just start hearing footsteps coming up like the
Yeah.
catwalk, and you're like, oh, here, and then like you just try to like get in your zone, try to like take that shot. So I really wanted like for like the players, like everyone like that I coached, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
to be like calming should be second nature. Like it should be as almost as like natural as breathing. Like you shouldn't have
Yeah.
to think about it. Like you just say it, and then you just do your job. Like shoot back.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, 100%. Because I know comms were like one of my biggest issues, and you stress that so much doing the even when we played together to when you started coaching. That was something that you stressed about all the time. You know, so
It was like because there was like like when I remember it kind of like it's kind of like airing you out a little bit, like calling you out a little bit
that
for
is.
it's like when I stopped playing, like when I was like started like focusing like trying to graduate or whatever, and then when they kind of like it was like a bunch of like role issues, like because it was like the next iteration of like Navy when I left.
Mm-hmm.
It was like they like it became not as like there's no core like core five players,
Mm-hmm.
because it was like the main core players, me, not to not to flatter myself, but and then it was like Poison, like because he had to focus on school too that semester.
Yeah, he definitely.
And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
we had some players that that were capable of running like well with that roster,
Yeah.
and then it just all kind of broke apart at the end, and we just had to like kind of grab like
Great.
every
Yeah.
like whatever straggling like piece of like player that we can grab from any like white or like or like orange, like we just grabbed whoever we could and then just put it together a team. And then Dex was still there, and it was like it's kind of hard like going from like one iteration of a roster where you're like all like you already started to like mesh like a certain like play style
Yeah.
or like philosophy about the game, how you should play or whatever. Like you already know like how like one teammate plays, like he likes to be a little bit aggressive, so like maybe position a way to like trade off him. That was like me and Dex. I can see, I
Yeah.
can feel when he wants to take a peek, so I would position myself to take a trade for stuff like that, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
when that next iteration of roster came, no one knew
Yeah.
everyone's play style. We try to like run it like not we, because like I was just on the sideline, but like just looking at it, it just seemed like everyone was trying to like play like they were the last iteration, like like the
Yeah.
cohesiveness, but
Yeah.
it just wasn't there.
Yeah.
And
I agree. Yeah. It's one of those, because like it felt weird because like I feel like no one knew what each other wanted to do. It was like this person wanted to just sit back, this person wanted to swing. You know, because like that's the thing. Like Poison understood when he pretty much knew how all of us played, so he pretty much knew how to play off everyone, and it was vice versa. Because I remember it's still to this day. I remember on attack on the scent when we were throwing the op around.
Bro, we said, ooh.
Like we got one, we threw it back. Jet dashed in. I got one, threw it back to Jet. Popped my ult. It's just, it was, yeah. It's just, we just knew how to play off each other. It was fun. It was just, it's how it was.
It was like that one caster. He's like, it seemed like the Jet and Dex. I guess I think you were on Asher or whatever. They're just using the ops like a shotgun. I'm just like.
I think it was Dallas that said that. I think
it might have been Dallas, but shout out Dallas.
Shout out Dallas. To your coaching, how was your like experience of coaching the Auburn Orange team? Because I know there's some ups and downs, and we did end up qualifying for RBCC, making it to the land. Unfortunately, we didn't win it, but you know, you as a first time coaching and taking a brand new roster and accomplish that, you know, how was that?
Yeah, it was pretty neat. Like obviously, because like a first timer, you're like you qualify for like a quote unquote like LAN that like it's like it has like a name like you know like Red Bull like that.
Yeah.
Like, you think Red Bull, you think sort of
it's
like it's sort of up there in
Mm-hmm.
terms of like stature, but yeah, yeah, like I said, like transitioning to the coaching role, it just felt like kind of natural because it was like I was already sort of like quote like doing it like sort of like on the side coaching Dex along the way,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was like, I think I could do a decent bit of coaching, and I have had like, I'm like, I watch enough like sort of like I sort of study VCT a little bit. Like I used to like watch VODs a little bit back and forth, not as much anymore, but yeah, but like before I was watching like these VODs, I was like, okay, some of the things that people do here is like it's kind of interesting, like how they play this situation or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, let me see if I can like try to take that and like kind of spin that into like my own little coaching style, like going like into like Auburn Orange. So and low key, nobody even knew that I was gonna coach.
Nah,
it was
came up with the announcement video.
Like it's just like they're like, okay, he's coaching, and then yeah, so it was like when they held the tryouts or whatever. After that, when I was like, all right, this is like my initial like official like announcement. Hey, I'm gonna be coaching you guys. I'm like, I kind of like I want to like up your guys' like knowledge of the game a little bit here,
Mm-hmm.
like you know, sort of like kind of propel you into like the pro Valorant scene. See if you like this could be something that you're probably interested in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you were to focus on it, you can actually like make something out of it. So, like you know, because collegiate Valorant right now is just like insane. Like,
yeah, it's almost like Xander kind of like explained it to me where he was saying that you have tier 1 and then you know you normally have like tier 2 and then like collegiate and then you know on down like tier 3 and on down, but apparently it's tier 1 right now and then collegiate and then it's like tier 3 because well a lot of free agent rosters they disband or they don't stay long because there's no money. You know, they're not getting any, you know, they're not getting paid to do it. But with collegiate, you getting your school paid for, you getting education, you getting housing, you get a stipend every month. You know, so you have like an incentive to like bust your butt. And so
yeah.
it's almost like that's the path you want to take. And you want to get on the school that has like that invest in their program. And then, you know, you constantly play in ninth monthlies and, you know, obviously like RBCC and CVAL, but you want to constantly play in those big tournaments where you get your VLR, you get your stats up there, and then you scrim against these tier 1 teams and you get your name out there and you're doing all of that while getting a college education and getting money. That's a no-brainer. That is a no-brainer. So it makes sense. Now, unfortunately, Auburn doesn't technically invest.
I did it for free, so I couldn't even like. I paid to play. I paid to play
free because we had to pay for our jerseys. We had to pay for our jerseys. Like other schools, they don't have to do that. But now it's getting to a point where like even collegiate schools like Northwood, Fisher, and all of them are starting to be considered tier 2. And so because they can compete in the VCT openings and stuff like that. So they're technically, a lot of collegiate teams are technically there, but I think what only separates them from like the tier 1 and possibly even like M80, like those top tier 2 teams. Yeah, the Ascension teams is like for one, they got all the time. They don't have to worry about school, so they constantly can put in hours.
The extra time allotted for them to practice rather than.
And they have the resources, the professional coaches that pretty much probably play professional CS, play professional Valorant, or been coached around professional Valorant coaches in the tier 1 scene. So they have all of this like experience and resources behind them that they can put all their like focus into, theory, VAR review, scrims, all that. So that's pretty much what separates the Ascension teams from like the collegiate teams in a sense. Now I think, in my opinion, once there's money, like real, like a lot of money getting like poured into Valorant esports, I think you will start to see like tier 3 teams kind of like start to creep back up in that second slot, and then collegiate is going to go right back to that third slot, because
I can see like collabs between like this roster is gonna get like they're all gonna like sign an agreement, and they're like maybe in like school, like I can see something like where like a org or like like a free agent org gets like
DSG,
like a little deal going on with like some collegiate program where they can sort of get slotted into into a school program.
Exactly, because I know I think it's I can't think of the team name. They deal with they worked with some of the schools in Florida. I can't think of the name, but they worked with they sponsor some of the collegiate teams in Florida. It was a team that Teddy played on. Misfits is they sponsored some of I think they sponsored like UCF, and I think they did sponsor FAU, but FAU pretty much like kind of like did themselves in the hole, so they kind of like did away with them. But yeah, Misfits, like they and I can start to see where like some of these like DSG or like some of the Ascension teams, or even like tier 1 orgs, start to like kind of like make like a academy roster, with collegiate players and that's like their way of like recruiting, in a sense, where it's like, all right, we can slot you in here with our academy team, we'll just develop you as a player, and because at one point, wasn't that like a thing in collegiate, I mean in Valorant, when it first started, where you had like C9 Academy, you had
and like the training grounds or something. It's something similar, but I really do like the aspect of that is like where you have like a program where like or it can like invest into like creating like a esports program at like different institutions, like collegiate institutions. And then where it's like quote unquote, they can provide like a push, like an incentive for like students to like go to school, and also have something like to do like on the side, and like look like paid for it or whatever, and they can like sort of like get sort of what's the word, just kind of like just build into like a developed enough player to like where they can get themselves into the door of like pro gaming, pro Valorant, if that's like a step that they want to take, because obviously like being around that space, like being in that space long enough, you'll develop like connections.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, just to get maybe something in your degree that you're interested, like the business aspect of esports, that can get you in the door of that. Like, get a meeting with Nate Shot or something like that.
It's definitely different avenues you'll be able to take with it. Because I would love to see like a school like Auburn, as big as it is, and with the amount of money that they have, collaborate with, like let's say like C9 or something, or Sentinels, where they can make some type of like brand collaboration where they both invest like that way. Auburn doesn't have to pour millions of dollars into the program, and that way that tier one org doesn't have to pour millions of dollars into a program where they can come together, collaborate of like a split amount of what each will put into the pool and pretty much because I can just see that happening. It just makes sense to take collegiate players and develop them and then potentially bring them, slot them into your roster. You know, instead of going like the free agent route where you get a team, there's no money, you're all putting, you just play.
You just play when you can.
You just play when you can, and then it's just like, well, damn, we just got our ass whooped. Why am I even playing? It's no sense for me to play and want to work hard, and so then boom, they leave. So it definitely is it definitely is, it sucks, you know, that route. But I always encourage like especially high school students. I spoke to some of the Auburn high school students here. I'm like, look, to be honest, Auburn's not gonna offer you no scholarship. But if you're serious about Valorant, go to look into these other school programs. And then I know there's a website. God, I'll just plug it into the description. But there's a website where you can pay for it, and you can do it if you're in high school. You can do it if you're in college. It doesn't matter what age or whatever, as long as you're able to play collegiate. It's a website where you can get recruited by these colleges, and they offer scholarships. And all you do is you plug in your whatever your account name is, your ranked, your VLR, and you just give a description, and not your VLR, but your tracker, and you just put a description about yourself, and then what roles you play, whatever, and like teams. Because I did it, and that's how I had like schools like Fish and Winthrop reach out to me. And just like just for the interest, just a message saying like, hey, we're interested in you. You know, can you tell us about yourself? You know, what are you doing? You know, when do you graduate? You know, just stuff like that they ask, and then and it goes from there. So like that's how some schools are doing it. Like I said, I can't think of the website name, but
I was gonna say, if you think of it, slide me that. I might go back for a master's.
They pretty much like these schools, like a lot of these, even these smaller schools. They want to get more students in. So how do they think about doing it? Invest into the esports, because that's big. You bring in these good players, and boom, you put your school on the map. Because no one even heard of Winthrop, no one heard of Fisher, you know, no one heard of Team U. Yeah, it's
the forest of New York.
Yeah, is no one even heard of these schools, you know, because they're not big. And then when esports came around, I said the only big name school that everyone knows is Texas A&M. You know, that's
like that was like the team that like everyone talked about.
Yeah, in the beginning, yeah, you remember in the beginning, everyone talked about it, and TAMU was like, I don't want to say the founders, but they were the first ones to like have a really consistent.
They had like a consistent roster, and like they just had like that like notoriety to them. Like everyone knew TAMU was like
legit. Yeah,
they were up here.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So so my next question for you is what specific aspects of coaching in a collegiate environment do you find most exciting, challenging, or challenging compared to your previous experience as a player?
I would say exciting would be like, you know, when like you write up a play, like write up a certain like strat, and then like your team actually executes it well. It's like, yes, it's exactly how I envisioned it, and it's working. Yes. But then it's like, I also like for like my coaching, like I would say philosophy. It would more be like for like team, like in the team aspect of like, you know, playing like competitive, like either esports or like just traditional sports in general. I always like seeing that as like communications being like top, like that should be like the main thing you strive for, because like once everyone's on the same page, everything should flow, like it will flow naturally. And I really want to like, that was like the main thing for like the B team. I was like, I like, listen, I would like sit everyone down. I was like, listen, you guys aren't talking. That's why it's like there's like gaps. There's like gaps in like how you guys are like losing like like 5v3 situations. Like, why are you guys losing 5v? That's like a guarantee, like 80% win unless someone like tens on the other side just one shots everyone. But I was like that, like communication was like the one thing I heavily preached just because it was also something that like me and you struggled with, and I was like maybe I was like I know that I didn't bring the best of my communication skills out for like when I was a player, so I know that's one thing that I'm gonna have to look at.
Yeah.
Like as a coach for like a team to prosper.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I would say that's like the main like exciting thing I sort of look for. Like I just want a team to be able to like gel together, because I was like once a team like it's like if everything clicks, like everything should be fine. Like even win or lose, like around here too, there because that's usually like just down to like really like luck factor sometimes. Almost it's like you can't really help like if you just whiff or whatever. But like if everything is like still flowing together, like you're still talking like, hey, these guys are doing this. Like that's like losing around is the least of your worries. And then yeah, that's how I see it. And then I was like challenging is especially when like once you have like when we went through the honeymoon phase of like everything was working, like when it was literally just like what, like the first month that we started playing these tournaments, and then
we was winning.
We was winning, and then we qualified with Red Bull, and then literally the week after that, Scrims was just
bad. Yeah,
like, it was not it. Like it was like everything we knew about the game just like went out the window. That's what it felt like.
Yep, I definitely agree.
And I was like, the main issue what I was seeing was just like, it's like I don't know if it's like a complacency issue or is it just like I saw it was like because like communication was the first thing to go when we came back from like that Red Bull like or qualifying like weekend and whatnot.
Yeah.
And that was like the first thing I saw. I was like, so what's going on? I was like what's really going on? Like why aren't we like talking like that? That's the like the only thing I preach. And I was like, I'm only preaching you guys to talk to each other just so you know like what's going on around the map, so you guys don't get caught surprised.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, so what was the issue here? And then we just really couldn't like find our ground. It was like we'll find our ground like footing like the next week, and then we'll just lose it again. Or I guess that was like the most like challenging part. It was just like I really couldn't pinpoint like what was like the main issue, and then that was like my most challenging thing to go through. And like the whole thing with like role issues, because we were like swapping James like, duels like Silva, because it was like
I think what happened is complacency. I think was like the huge thing. And because I think because we was getting stumped, I think we was losing what, like 11 to like 4, and we came all the way back on the defensive half, and pretty much Dan won us the game, and then James went crazy and I think he got like 3 kills off the ult and everything.
I saw in the announcement video.
Yeah, so it was like that, and so like I think after that, because like that whole month we worked hard that entire month, and I think when we qualified, I felt like we got complacent. We didn't take the game as serious anymore, and people just like, oh, we're all right. We don't need to practice. We're good, And so
it just felt like we took a step back on like how like trying to like serious we were trying to run.
Yeah,
because I did try to like granted like there was like some times where I should have been like there like towards the beginning. I was like okay, practice on these days, Mondays and Thursdays, I think.
Yeah, Monday.
Literally the first practice I couldn't make it just because I had something come up, and then I was like, all right, that's probably on me. So if I start seeing like people starting like kind of not like take it as, I was like, okay, that's on me. And then so I'll try to reel everyone in by like I'll give them like a 2 days notice or a day's notice if like something's come up for me that I can't attend, and then I'll just try to like give like a goal or objective, and then I'll try to like have Dex like stream it, and then like I'll just watch it over after just to see what's going on.
Yeah, because I think like we used to stay up like late at night watching VODs, watching plays, coming up with plays.
Damn near like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I'm like, hey,
this guy keeps yapping, bro. I can't.
I used to be like, hey Steve, you wanna watch some VODs, bro? We be like, I used to be like, bro.
I'm like, yeah, sure. And then I'm just like here on the side. I'm like,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
great. That's great.
Cause I know we came up with a whole playbook for in the PowerPoint and
I tried to like write a playbook or whatever. It was mainly just like a bunch of defaults here and there on like certain maps, and just like, I mean, I just how I think it should be played, like, you
yeah.
know, where to play strong at or whatever. Kind of fun, but yeah. So
So
it sort of just felt bittersweet towards the end because it was like we weren't really winning as much, and then
yeah,
I guess like because like when we got to the land, it was like going to the land was like it was fun.
yeah, it
I
was
was like
us.
I was like this is like a first hand like legitimate like land experience that I went to, and I was like coach. I was like I remember just standing behind you guys warming up, and I was like I was one of you guys once. I really just want to sit down and just start cooking heads, but
I know it's hard for you. I saw it in your face, man. It was
I
like,
was like,
God,
I
dude.
was like, I wanna be down there. I just want to sit down and start cooking heads. I even brought like extra like my gear. I was like, just in case. He's like, hey coach, can you play? I'm like, yes, just let me in.
I low key like thinking about that though. I I could not enjoy like the full experience of it because I like and I put that on myself because I wanted to win so bad. I knew we was able to. I knew we was capable of winning because we were up a lot of like especially against Louisiana Tech. We were up
Yeah.
against them and we just
We had the momentum, and then it was like that one round shift.
yeah
Low key, like it was just a loss that we shouldn't have lost, but it was like also like we should have collected ourselves much sooner.
yeah
And then I guess we kind of like legit lost, like we just lost it, and then we just couldn't grab what we had going into that like second half, where we were just like, I was like, oh,
yeah
I can't. Like we just lost it because it's like everyone just started going mute.
yeah.
I was just like,
And plus the headphones weren't working either because we
yeah. I
couldn't
was
hear
like,
them.
oh yeah. And you're like, Dex, eat your mic, please, because like, your mic just wasn't.
That thing was not working. It just could not pick up at all. I had to like scream. I was
That's
like,
like that one. That's like that one thing. It's like you're like, dude, everything's working fine. Why is this the one thing that I need working so I can like get my points across? Is not. And that's just like in the back of your, that just annoys you.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's just like, I can't, like I'm playing two different games on two phones.
So I was wanting to ask you too. So I know you heavy about communication and building like the team dynamics and everything. So what is like your approach to like the team dynamics and the communication side within like Auburn and then how do you like ensure the cohesiveness and effectiveness in players as far as like the effectiveness and like the player styles and everything.
Mm, I would say, like for me, like like preaching communication. I was just like, because like I know for me, like playing as a player, I know that
Mm-hmm.
was the one thing I lacked because it was like a lot of times where I had util, I didn't like comment or I was like, hey, I can do this, I can do this. Like I didn't like set up players
Mm-hmm.
or like the rest of my team with like a util, like hey, I can dart this, like flash or like stun this, I can like shock dart this or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. And it was just something that I noticed that was lacking in me. So I know it was going to be lacking in other players because I kind of think of myself. I try to be like calm, like calm headed, cool headed. I don't get like too crazy. If I hit like a clip worthy like kill sequencer, like yeah, I just don't get too like high emotion. I try to like stay very
Mm-hmm.
very stoic and just trying to keep calm about situations. And yeah, it was like that was the one thing that I wanted to like kind of get my players into, like that mindset, like everything should be second nature. So like
Yeah.
it shouldn't really like phase you like it shouldn't like a certain situation shouldn't like pull you out of the game, like pull your focus out of it. Like your focus should be in that game, in that match, like right then and there. And
Yeah.
I didn't want to pull them. I try to just make that as like second nature as possible for them. Yeah.
So
It.
I know you used to make us do this drill where we had to go to a death match and calm like everything that we see, whether you died, the what, like who else did we see? Pretty much everything, to the point where you go into a death match saying it in your head. One of my friends, Pi, he used to play with Xander, with Coach Xander, and one of the things that Pi does, he will comment in TDM, he would comment in a deathmatch. Like he does it all to a point where like when he goes into a game, like I played with him and people have said like he would be bottom frag, like he'd be like 5-10 or something like that, right? But his comms are so good that, for one, people don't even get mad if he's playing bad, and two, he calms so good that it helps everyone else out and they don't get mad. They're just like, oh, it's okay, man, at least you calm me, because everyone else is getting the kills because of his comms. And it's just like, so you can impact the round with just great communication.
Just the way you speak, it's like like it's just, even like you're not trying to like sound condescending. Like usually, like when you're in rank, like the higher lobbies, like everyone has an ego. You say one thing with like one hint of like aggressive tone, like everyone just like, they just shut you out or whatever. They're like,
I'm different. I'm muting.
You're 5-10. I don't want to hear you talking. So like even in like rank games, I try to keep it like calm and mellow, just to one, like for me, if I was to like go back into competitive play, I want to keep that level of like mood or like mindset, so it doesn't, like, I don't get too emotionally like phased due to a situation or whatever.
Because I know I noticed, even if you were like, let's say for instance you wasn't like at your top, like the top of your game that day, you still calmed regardless. He's like, well, let me just find another way to help everyone else out because I can't hit a shot today, and it happens. So it's just like, one thing I look at you is like, such as like a teammate and a coach, is that you always stay like, I've never seen you really get mad or upset. I've seen it a few times. And a few times.
I mean, like, one situation already fucked up in my head, but I was like, once I get to that point, something's wrong. Something's wrong. Like, why is Steve acting like this?
The New York accent comes out, right?
I know you right.
The New York accent comes out, bro. You be like, yo, say that again. All you need is some Timbs, and he's there, bro. He's already back. But yeah, I've never seen you mad. Now me, it all comes. It's just
you go.
Yeah, it all shows.
You just mute. It's like, you can show, like, it shows in the way he plays.
Yeah,
Like if you follow Dex long enough, like you can watch his gameplay, and you can, even if you have like no face cam, like mute mic, like you just watch how he plays, like plays a certain. You can tell that it's like he's tilted. Like his head's not in the game. He just wants to.
Write it down.
Treat the game like it's a.
I'm like, all right, I'll write it down. No comms, deafened. All right, I'm gone. And that's bad. That's really bad. But I worked on it. So
he still has a habit.
Still has a moment.
It's like a do as I say, not as I do.
There you go. Exactly. So
I got you.
So the next question, as far as like just how you balance everything. With like as a player and a coach, right? What is like, how did you, when it came to like building the Auburn roster, how did you like balance like individual skill development with like team coordination and strategy and like your coaching philosophy and everything? Like, how did you get everyone to buy into it?
It was it's kind of tough but it was still like stragglers from like that last like kind of really poor round iteration of that Navy roster, and it was like sort of like I got like the hand-me-downs almost. So I was just like, look, I kind of wanted to like not like put that message in their head, like hey, you're trash, that's why you're here or whatever. I didn't try to do that. Because obviously I will say it, because it's like, if we make like a dumb play where it's like, we talked about this, you shouldn't make this play, so like, why are you like, that's when I get a little heated or
Especially when we talked about like the 1-for-1 rule. You know, if they use one piece of utility, you do the same thing.
So yeah, I was like, I didn't really try to like put that image in there. I'm like everyone's human, so they're bound to make mistakes. Just make less mistakes as like compared to the other guy, and you'll win.
Yeah.
And so I was like, and also like I for one, for me when I was a player, for me it's like I'm more of a vibes type of teammate. Like I match the vibe. So like if the vibes is high, I'm like I'm here with the energy. But if it's like kind of like cool and mellow, I try to keep it a little bit serious. And if it's low, it's like I'm just quiet. I just say my needed comms like, hey, one cat, I'm out, and then that's it. That's all I say. So like I just sort of match the vibe, and so like when like with the team like B team, I try to like just try to get everyone on equal footing like in terms of vibe, just because like if you like when you're communes like you should have like kind of streamline like everyone's thoughts together. If you're like if everyone's saying hey they're playing strong side like left side of the map or like towards A or whatever, like can we like push up our B or like one of the extremities or whatnot. That's sort of how like I wanted them to go. And then like there are some players, and then like I kind of had to like not like kind of like tiptoe around like certain players, because I was like one, I'm like it's my first time meeting them, because like new players into the like it was like one of my first times like interacting with like Nico. That's when the roster was made. That was like one of the like maybe like fourth time that I really interacted with him. And then like with Lee, I sort of knew him from Navy. Low key, we were trying out for the same spot. Yeah, so I was like, keep an eye on you. I know you're 30 with the Jets, so but I didn't know like him like like how he like personality wise, like how he was. So like, and then we had Dan, hell of a shooter.
Dude can shoot.
And dude can shoot back. And so it's like some people had like, I wouldn't say conflicting personalities, or it was just more of like I had to like get used to like how they are as a person. So I wanted to be able to approach like if like when it comes to like talks is like, hey, like or like someone says something like a way that they didn't like, and I can obviously feel that there's like sort of tension. I'm like, I'll try to like talk to this guy like, hey, he doesn't mean it when he says it like this. It's like it's just how he was. It's like it's how he was when I was a like teammate with him or whatnot. So I'm just like, please don't take it to like as literally as like how they say it. It's just more like
hint.
Hey, he's like I didn't want to say it, but fuck it. But I was like, he's just very passionate about the game. So it's just like the way he says it, it's like it will come off a little
aggressive,
like you most of you guys aren't gonna like it, because I know like some people just like okay, I guess I'll just add him here. Dan, he's like he gets a little bit quiet. He kind of like matches the vibe or whatnot.
Yeah.
And then he's like, if it's like kind of heated, he's usually quiet. And then some people bite back, like something like they'll kind of get into a little scuffle here and there about certain things, like Busa is a very like a loud individual, so he'll say what's on his mind, and then if something like doesn't make sense, or like if he feels like a certain situation wasn't played to kind of help him, like, hey, why didn't you call him that he was here? Or like he'll sort of like out someone out for it, and then it kind of like some people get a little bit passive aggressive here. They just go straight into argument here. So I just try to keep it like just calm down, because like, everyone just calm down. Like, it's not as serious as you think sometimes.
Because I was just wondering about that. You know, I when that sticks out to me the most is the TMU game. You know, the number 5 school that was in CVAL. You know, we had them. You know, what was your thoughts on that, man? I gotta know, because that game was winnable.
Which team was it? Sorry?
It was TMU. I think that team are they a Canadian team or?
They're a Canadian team. Yeah, but
we had them up all 3 maps.
it was literally just the CVAL, like to qualify into CVAL playoffs. We legit had them in the first half every
Every
like
time.
first map, second map. It was like an 8-4. Like I think one of them might have been 10-2.
It was that was the Lotus map. I mean, it was the no, it was the Lotus map. It was Lotus, and then Sunset. It was the same thing. We had him at 10-2.
Like it was like that lead was just like by then you're like that's a win in my book. Like there's no way that they can we can do anything to like mess it up, and we kind of mess it up. And then it was more, and I can feel like for like since it was like a big game, like it kind of rode a little heavy on everyone's shoulders.
Yeah.
So I can definitely tell that like some people weren't like as willing to make a play. Like or they would just hold on to util where they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Or they were second guessing like, hey, okay, I had this one round in mind. It was like where you were Viper on B, you ulted like outside market.
Yeah.
And then they were smoked out their CT, but they could have just played like fast flood into like going through CT like through Boba into site with you to help fight the main guy. So all you have to worry about was like that one straggler. Market. I think it was like literally one straggler in market.
Yeah, it was because like I think how we set it up. I was playing for the ult on for was it B side? I think it was for B side. I was playing for it, so I think we had like one mid, then 3A, and then off there if they whatever type of pressure they made on B, I was like ulted. But like we had to rotate. We rotated so fast that we was able to beat them to the rotate. But like I don't understand like how it's just looking back at it, it's just like wait, so because I think I ended up killing like two of the guys, like I think Market remained
like you killed like two guys where it was like by then like had they like made that decision to like actually fast flood into site, that was a win round. That was a 1 round.
Yeah.
But we didn't. We was like kind of second guessing like, oh, should I just fight market guy until like see if he pushes the smoke. And that was just like, people were like holding on to util. It was like real like literally ground break, like game break, like that Sunset map. I'm not gonna lie, it was 1-13-10. Like it was 12-10 and it was like match point, and it was like a 4v3 situation, and we were up, and we had like util that could have just won us the game, like because like all he has to do was just throw it, and then you just kind of scale up like left side together, because it was like I think the guy was playing like back dice, and then the other guy was kind of playing more towards like the jump up spot.
Yeah.
And
could have won. Yeah. Could have been.
It could have been a whole different map 3. Like we could have been like what, Haven map 3? I think that was a decider or something. Like because we lost Lotus, and then we got into Sunset.
So I want to go into this. So you coach and everything, and hopefully you'll continue to coach or even see you back as a player. In what ways do you plan on contributing to the overall esports program in Auburn, beyond coaching and Valorant? Or do you plan on doing anything with Auburn?
I mean, I like being around Auburn. Like I made like a bunch of good friends here, and also made friends like in the esports scene and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to think that I can be there for them, for like anyone that has like questions about the game. I can definitely like kind of like help you like go in that direction that you want, not take you there, because like I don't think I'm like that like a top tier coach at all, because I'm not. I just want to be able to like I just like helping people to like kind of realize their potential. I guess that's like one thing I enjoy like as a person. Like I want to really like set you on as far as a path of like how like what potential like future or like fate fate's kind of corny, but it's like like this can take you like you have a chance in like something like
almost like
being so good at a game,
like
to compete.
Are you saying like almost like a like not like a mentor, but like somewhere like in kind of like that circle of like mentorship and stuff? Because I mean I still come to you for advice pretty much every fucking day, so
Like I mean, but like at this point, it's like you skill wise have exceeded me. Like that's for sure. That's for
Oh.
that's for dang sure. I'll go ahead and I guess admit it as much as I want to on this podcast, but you skill wise you have exceeded me as a player. But so like the things you come to me for, it's like I'm like I don't know how much I can. I guess I can kind of sort of give you insight, maybe give you a different look at it,
Yeah.
just to see how I see it, and then it's like see if that translates well for you.
Well, because that's the thing. Like for instance, when I come to you thinking that I'm right, and then you hit me with, well, no, look at it from this way, and it's just like shit. Okay, damn, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about it this way. Like especially like you and Zach tell me all the time. Like look at other ways to be a huge factor other than just for your team, other than just IJling and shooting, and dropping 30. Find other ways to help
you can
teams.
drop almost 40, but like it's when it, like at the end of the day, Valorant's a team game, so like you have to close out a game as a team and not as a solo player. So that's what I like really teach. Like I really want to get you in that like leader aspect of like I guess for like the B team, because it's like sure I'm the coach, but like I can only do so much for you like out of game, in game, I guess, like during timeouts and stuff. Like, cause like I'll try to bring in like a certain strat here and there, like maybe counter strat or whatever.
Yeah.
And like that's like almost as far as I can help. And like in game, it's like when I'm in game, I only get a minute per timeout, and then like the halftime pre-time, like pre-round by or whatever. Like I can only like say, hey, it's like we're not. I can either say they're playing it like this. Let's switch it up like this, like to counter what they're doing, or I have to focus on you guys aren't talking, you guys aren't like you guys aren't like why are you guys holding on to util here?
Yeah.
Like that's like there's two games I have to focus either focus on during any match, because it's like that's the only things I can do. I can't type help sewer and then like you guys go
help sewer.
Yeah. That's a flashback. Yeah.
Oh man.
So I see it.
I got two more questions for you, and then we're gonna wrap this up. So for like you as a coach, what do you think pretty much like what qualities do you have to like build a successful like to be a good coach and have like and build like the resources you need around you to be successful?
I would say one really good quality to have like as a person to be able to coach is be able to like sort of be is objective, like kind of be like unbiased, like don't try to like favor one side.
Yeah.
Like make sure like you're someone that you can look at all like aspects of something to like figure out the reasoning why, because at the end of it could just be one thing, but it's like it could be something that both parties agree on, but it's one thing that they're not agree on, and it's just like, oh, it's just the way he said it, but it just didn't sound like that you were agreeing with me. So like I would say like just being able to like analyze uh like how to analyze and kind of like weave between a situation and like trying to figure out what's like what could be like the key issue every team is going through. I would say like just being able to like kind of sit back and like, oh okay, I guess like being a good listener. That's like a coach. Like you don't want to be a coach that just kind of like just yaps and yaps, because it's like at the it just goes in and out year one year and then out the next.
Yeah.
So like you want to be able to listen to like your players like concerns and like issues, and try to help them like find like the cause and try to implement that. I would say that's like a really good quality to have. And I guess like a support staff, it's like I don't know how how do you even like have like a support staff with a coach? Like what do you mean like by supports?
I guess like well obviously you didn't have like an analyst or stuff like that, but far as like can you like far as like do you have people that you go to far as like other coaches or other players that you go to far as like when you need assistance or help or trying to understand or trying to come up with plays or developing plays and stuff like that?
Okay. Personally, I didn't have like the support staff. It was just more of like I just reached out to people. Uh, I guess for me, one. I mean, you're on one end of that because I'm pretty sure I've like come to you like talk about like what game that I can improve on here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is back as a player, and then I think Poison. He was one that I was like I asked. Is like I know I'm doing stuff wrong here. What's something I can do to change to like help me better? And it's like that was one I remember having a conversation with them on that.
Mm-hmm.
I think on the coaching aspect, it's like it's good to pick the brains of
Mm-hmm.
like a different coach because it's like not every coach thinks the same.
Yeah.
So it's like it's I honestly like to like just know a little bit of everything. I'm like that type of person. So like I rather have like a know in something than like know nothing of it.
Yeah.
So it's like I always so like I guess like Coach Xander is like I'll watch like his VODs
Mm-hmm.
like or like a live stream. It was like that Funhammer Invitational or
Yeah.
whatever. I was like watching. I was like this play is unique. I'm like this is. I'm like
Mm-hmm.
like the way like there's like the way that he there was like a set tempo of how they almost played the game. It was like very slow, methodical, and then out of nowhere they just smack you in the mouth with like a fast like mid play. Like
Yeah.
it was like really fast, and I was like, okay, that's something cool that I could probably like bring into Auburn. It's like, hey, we're always so slow here. It's like it's always so fast here. Or for like our B team, it was more of like just do stuff fast,
Yeah.
and then we rarely had anything like slow because like when we played slow, that's when we usually get picked apart.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe it's like I need to work how like see how Xander like worked his like slow like defaults out, like see how he's positioning his teammates, his players, and then see if I can like iterate that into my roster, like my own players. So that's like one person I'd say I probably like looked at for like help,
Mm-hmm.
and I think this is like sort of like very vague in my like head, but I'm pretty sure I asked Ant for like uh like 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 getting into coaching or whatever. I'm pretty sure I asked him about it,
Mm-hmm.
but it just wasn't a conversation that we had, and I just really can't remember it for some reason.
Yeah.
I'm like 20% sure I've like kind of like asked him about it, and we just could never like had that conversation, and then I just ended up doing it or whatnot. So I would say that's like the
Okay.
only people I've like really like asked like for help. Like
So
other than that.
would you say it helped you out a lot and
Oh
everything?
yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
It definitely like it's like it's all about like if like being like a better you than yesterday. So like it's like
Yeah.
you can always like just ask one question here and there. You're already like 10% better than or okay, not 10, like 1% better. Like you're
Yeah.
doing something to like improve like yourself, like knowledge or like something. Like it's just something that you willingly like stepped out to do to grow as a person. And I think like just doing like little bits of that here and there will help. And that's like for me, I was like I think my coaching was like subpar at best. So I would like reach out or like just watch
Yeah.
how like how certain teams played, and I was just like, this is cool. I like this idea how they're running it. So let me try to iterate that into my team. And I just needed to figure out a way how to like translate that so everyone understood. Like try to make it like a fifth grade like understand like reading levels so everyone knew like would know what I'm trying to say.
I will say
That definitely helped.
I will say um that I've noticed is that like for instance like Sentinel's Coach Kaplan, he emphasized discipline. That's like one of his philosophies that he's really big on. And so I mean, as you can see, hell, he even got tens to sit down and
Yeah.
I don't know how he did that because Rockets couldn't do it. Uh, I guess Psycho was he was
Yeah,
he
yes.
was
You didn't get that?
he didn't even get a chance. But I mean, you see, like so I would love to see more coaches emphasize more on like being the discipline because that's why I think Fnatic is so good because they do this thing where it's called like I think it's called funneling, not funneling. It's basically they get one and then they pretty much find a butt buddy basically, and they just sit there. So like for instance, Durka gets one, and then as you can see, he might hold the angle for a little bit longer, and then he'll back off, and then he'll like buddy with like Chronicle or something, and everyone has like a buddy pretty much. And and for instance, like their Lotus, they'll give up mid, they'll give up B, just so they can lock down A and C.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I would love to see more like coaches talking about the discipline part, because you see a lot of players are not disciplined. You see that a lot. So
I mean, we got one discipline right here.
I'm working on it.
He says he gets one. He's like, I'm going for the ace. I'm like, bro, that was a lurker. What are you talking about? Why are you running mid now?
Bro, I gotta go get mine, bro. So my last question, and just answer to the best of your ability here. Just because since you've been coaching for a short period of time, what advice do you have for individuals aspiring to become like esports coaches, particularly in Valorant?
For me, I would say like the advice I could probably come up with is just gotta take it one thing at a time. It's like one step at a time. Like there's gonna be that honeymoon period where everything, like that week of scrims, that week of tourneys or matches, it's just all gonna go well. But then the very next week, it's just gonna be like you never touched. Like it's like it'll feel like it's like the first time you meeting the team again.
Yeah,
it's like it'll smack you in the mouth, and you just have to kind of just take it slow, try to figure out like the root cause, and just try to find your way. Just be patient. Like the thing is with being a coach, it's like you just have to be patient. Like you have to have like the mental fortitude to kind of just like don't dwell on things, and just keep trying to find new things to work on. And like as soon as you feel like one thing is starting to lack, bring it back up, just so it's like up to par with like the new things that you're working on. So yeah, just take it one things at a time. Don't focus on too many things. Like, hey, like at the end of the day, like if you're a aspiring coach, like you're not a like established coach already, you're gonna have so many things to worry about. It's just like all it does is it's gonna fry your circuits. It's gonna fry your brain.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be a great time. So just take your time. Just breathe. Enjoy the moment. I was like, for me, it was like when we hit got to the Red Bull, and I was just enjoying. I'm like, this is a neat experience. Like, not every day I get to do this.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, wow, like, this is fun. It's like I like on the other end of the, like, I guess on the other side of that like spectrum, I'm just like, I really want to be the players right now. I really wish one of you were just standing behind me and I'm playing. So it's just like, but you just gotta take things in stride. Like take your wins, take your losses, but like don't dwell on them. Just really celebrate like what you can here and there, just so it's like it won't become a chore for you or for your players. Just make sure, like, because once it becomes like a chore, like you don't want to do a chore. So it's just like take your time, enjoy the process. It's like seeing yourself grow, like seeing like progress. It's like one of the best feelings that one should have, like either like in life, in gym, like, well, I mean I gym, so, and then like in gaming, so like that's one thing to look at it. So progression is should be cool.
All right,
that's about my advice.
All right, I thank you, appreciate it. So for you all out there, if you're aspiring coaches, take the advice. We also did another podcast with another coach, with Coach Xander. You heard his name, sometimes in here before. So right there, right over there. Just click right there. Right there. So thank you all for watching. I know we had a mouthful for you today. Hopefully you guys take something out of this podcast. Especially, I think it's very interesting for someone that was a player that went to coaching and still, loves doing what he's doing, and it took, a whole semester to do something different in his experience and everything. And so, for anyone that's aspiring to be a coach, listen to him. You know what he's talking about, even though he might not have had, the years of experience, but he's coming from, as a player, and then as it transitioned to a coach. So that's very interesting to see, especially when he has like that player mindset and that coaching mindset, and you can kind of see how he can relate to players as well with being a previous player. So thank you guys again. We appreciate it. Steve, thank you for taking the time out to be here again.
Thank you.
Thank you. So take care, everyone. Y'all have a great day. Bye.
Bye, guys.